Hi guys! Today we're going to work on our very popular wild rose flowers. This is a small version of it and it is 23 centimeters, which is about 9 inches wide, and the big one is 30 centimeters or 12 inches. So we will make both of them now using this nice designer papers in a very popular color which called dusty pink, and our very simple one size only petal template which I'll use and all the petals will be hand cut, and only centers in these flowers I make using my Cameo machine. Basically this is the very, or maybe the most simple flower I make here in our studio, but it's so gorgeous, so it's pretty popular among from our customers. So what we do, I use a stack of papers and I trace this petal using my awl. That's just a regular awl. You'll see the trick which saves me so much time. I trace and I press pretty hard onto the awl, so from one hand I leave very well visible mark. From another hand, I do not want to damage the first sheet of paper. So you see that's really very well visible here and very well visible here, and even on the third one it's really still visible, and even on the fifth one, taking into account it is 120 GSM designer metallic coated paper. That was not bad. So now I form stacks of four sheets here, 4 sheets here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. You see, I'll have all of those cut. Now I can cut the stack of 4 papers. Very often I go with a stack of 5 when I work with 120 GSM papers. And if your scissors are sharp enough, you will see this pretty nice edge. So all of my wild roses are hand cut. Almost never I cut them using machine, because this flower is my lifesaver. It's pretty easy to cut. It has so smooth lines. It's not like peony. So while I cut my petals for wild rose, my machine normally is busy, and I cut centers, leaves, butterflies, or whatever I will need in the set of flowers I'm working right now. I cut on the machine, and in parallel with that I cut these simple petals with scissors. So I save so much time doing these 2 cuttings in parallel, and I recommend you do so, especially for those of you who have no cutting machine. You see, and this means for us, if we use this awl but not the pencil, this means that I can trace only once and cut with scissors up to 25 sheets of paper tracing only once. Can you imagine? This is a time saver. You know, I'm a mom of 2 and my kids are at school, and then they have so many activities, so I'm so busy, but still running this business. I cannot allow to waste time here and there, so I work in different ways how to save my own time, still making beautiful flowers. So now I have all the petals ready, and I form stack of 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 5 we will need for one small flower, and 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for big flower. We'll start with the big one. I use my old paintbrush, and what I do first, I curl my petals this way. This will be the first lower layer. So we curl them, curl both sides backwards. For the second or middle layer, because the big flower consists of 3 layers, I curl one side from the right. I curl inwards, and from the left I curl backwards, right? And a stack of 5 petals, I curl both sides inwards like this. For the small flower, I do backwards for the first layer like this, and inwards for the second layer like that. And now I need to shape my petals, so I cut. This is for the first layer, for the second and third, and for the small one, first layer. You see, I cut the whole stack of 5 or 7 because my scissors are pretty sharp. I know this for sure. And now I shape them. So I divide each stack, and then I shape slightly overlapping these flaps, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7. I work with designer papers usually, and these papers are 120 GSM. You see, we overlap slightly more for the second layer. So flowers look very special. However, you guys can use any cardstock. Believe me, flowers made with the right shape of petal, with the right amount of petals, with the right technique used, they look beautifully, they look amazing, no matter which paper you use. No matter. You can use just absolutely regular, even cheap cardstock, but if you really worked pretty neat on every single step, if you followed all my instructions, your flower will look beautiful. Don't worry about the paper. So here we go. We finished shaping petals for the big flower, and now for the small flower. Again, that's the second layer, and we overlap this way. So all 5 of them, and now we go with the first layer, which will be outer layer. Here we go. We finished shaping our petals. Now we need to form the flower. So what I do, I use a base. When I work with designer papers, I never use designer papers backing, because designer paper to designer paper sticks really not so well. So I use a regular cardstock, and the color as close to what I use for petals as possible. So I have no any dusty pink in cardstock, so I use this grayish one, and that's what I do for every flower I make. I stamp with my business details. This time ink isn't really nice, so it dries out not that fast as I wanted. So all right, might do this. And now what else we'll need? A tiny piece of thread, I'll need to form a loop, so my customer can hang this flower. So this way I'm forming the first layer. We will spread all 7 petals, and so we use one size for all the petals, and you can get the template exactly in this size from our shop. And the base I use is 6 inches or 15 centimeters. So if you use this size base, you don't need any marks, because if you keep a tiny bit of space in between each petal, and if you go right by the edge, you will get right exactly the right space for all 7. So you see they distributed absolutely evenly, you know, no any pencil marks needed. And now I glue the second layer of petals 1 finger apart from the first one, right, and overlapping slightly. You see 2 petals of the first layer, and in between of them a petal of the second layer. As we have 7 on the first and 7 on the second, this is absolutely easy exercise, just in between. You can apply hot glue right onto all of your petals if you can act really fast this way. Keep in mind, we do not apply glue on both sides of our first petal of the second layer, only on one end, because now I'm lucky and they're not touching each other. But sometimes, depending on how deep you step out from the first layer into the center, you may find that if you glue this part to the base, you won't be able to glue the last petal underneath the first one. And this is really very crucial point to have absolutely professionally made flowers. So we keep it open until the layer is finished. So now we finished 2 layers of the big flower, and we're going to the next one, to the last one actually. Number 3 consists of 5 petals, and we have 7 in the previous one, so it's a little bit tricky. So you need to distribute 5 petals after 7 petals. What you can do, you can keep a star cut out handy. So what you can do, you can place a star with 5 points and glue all these petals. Again, keeping in mind that you put only on one side, you put the apply some glue, right? And leaving this end free for now, and you go underneath your star, and under each corner of the star we glue our petals. You see my star is pretty worn out because from time to time even I use it, and ta-da, absolutely perfect positioning of 5 petals. Alternatively, you can use bases, pentagons, hexagons, which we have in our shop, and you can just cut bases like this, but well, it comes with practice. The more flowers you make, the more trained your eye is, so you can see this layering for 5 petals. So you won't need a star, but sometimes, as I said, even I need this. So this is ready. We'll leave it aside, and we'll go on with our small flower. And here we go with a tiny loop again. And now we do not place any glue at the back of the first petal, and we do this way. This is the case where you may need to use pentagon, because this flower consists of 5 petals on the first layer. So for beginners, pentagon base will be really helpful. Or you can use any size circle and a star in the middle. So what I do, I use circles which are 10 centimeters or 4 inches in diameter. Actually, you can see how far from the edge I place my petals. I could do much smaller circle. I'd say in this case there will be 3 inches circle enough, but you may want to watch a few videos on our YouTube channel, which we have where we show different tools which make your life easier, which help you to cut perfect circles. These circles I cut using my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and so this size comes with the Big's die in this machine, and it gives me this size circle. This machine cuts circle in just seconds, so I would prefer to cut circles like this using my Big Shot machine, but then adjust the flower, the assembling of my flower to this size circles, rather than I cut circles with scissors or using my Cameo, which is longer and with a little bit more, troubles here and there. So that's why I go with a wider circle than I really need. Or if I need really nice positioning for smaller size flowers. I use again I use my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and I cut flowers like this. That's a die which makes flowers, 5-petal flowers. So for some flowers I use them as base, like here. You could actually, if you have a Big Shot machine or plan to buy one, you can assemble the small wild rose flower using that type of bases. Or you can see how I do this using a wider circle. I just overlap these first layer petals slightly more, you see, kind of narrowing this inner circle this way. You see, no stars, no measurements, no pencil marks, and this is a perfect positioning of 5 petals, just because I make these flowers, just dozens and dozens of them every single day, so I see this positioning pretty clearly with my eyes, just with my eyes. What do you do with the second layer? The same as we did with our big flower. So we just overlap and place each petal in between 2 petals of the previous layers, because we have 5 on the first, 5 on the second. That's absolutely easy. And again, we'll leave this end free, and here we go. So what we have in the center, that's approximately 1 inch of the center base visible. On the bigger flowers, about 1.5 inch of the center visible. So here we go. They are absolutely gorgeous, and the back end is neat and beautiful, and it has details of my business at the back, and it has a tiny loop so customers can hang flowers, and they are light in weight, so very small removable hook will be more than enough for any of them, right? And this one is beautiful. Yes, that's a grayish base, not dusty pink, but if you have a look in here, nowhere, no any single inch of this base is visible from that side, so I never worry about this. And now we need just to finish these flowers, and I have centers ready, right, like this. I'll show you how to make these centers now. So again, I keep these cut outs in, well, I cut them in bulk when I have machine when my machine is free. I set it to cut petals or leaves or whatever I need. I just overlap this way. Oh, I don't like this one. You see, that's just not even. I don't like it. So I take two of those and overlap them nicely and glue, and then again I use my awl, and I will be very careful, not much pressure at this step, so you do not rip this stamens. Very, very careful, absolutely gentle. So you see the center is ready. We have absolutely different types of those centers available in sets of 5 in our shop. So only one type comes with this flower template and tutorial, but if you wish different variations of them, have a look. We have plenty available, and they're absolutely gorgeous. What we do with the bigger flower, we can use this type of center, or we can use this type of center, and this is one of my really favorite ones. Absolutely gorgeous. This one you can easily make with just scissors, with regular ones, or better if you go with those called French scissors. They have 5 blades. Mine are from Martha Stewart brand, so you cut paper 5 times faster. And we have a very nice video here on YouTube how to make those spiky centers. You can watch it straight after this one. So you find the way how to make this type of center, and then you just play around sizes of paper to get it taller, or to get it wider. The wider sheet of paper you take, the taller it will be. The longer sheet of paper you take, or more sheets of papers you take to make it the fuller, and so obviously wider it will be. Just play around and make the size of the center you think suit your own flower. But I think these two look gorgeous. You can add rose leaves or any other type of leaves to this composition. You can form a set. These are rose leaves, and we have those templates available in our shop again. So yeah, use your creativity, make your own flowers. Don't forget to share with us. We will be very happy to see how you use our petals. Enjoy this tutorial. Go and buy a few packs of papers. Make flowers today. Make your day brighter. Show us your flowers. Don't forget to tag us on Instagram and your social medias. Thank you for watching.